Apple makes an extra. Here. Speaking of money that Apple has,
here we go.
This is your segue, your transition. You had this planned all along, didn't you?
Yeah, I try.
We talk about Apple's money and how successful they are. How about an extra $5 billion on the bottom line, which, according to, in this case, Daily Mail, is a consequence of no longer providing chargers and earphones with its new iPhones. People may have wondered how that would affect Apple's bottom line. I would have wondered because, of course, Apple wouldn't tell you. They wouldn't say to you, think of all the extra money. Think of the money we're going to make, or we're going to say we're not going to change the price of these things. In fact, it might even go up, but actually we're saving the environment.
Yes, the environment talk.
When we're saving the environment, we don't give you the cable. We don't give you the power brick. You already have those. Come on, reuse those. Don't put the old phone away. Get the new phone, but reuse the cables. Don't worry about it. Apple said the move was to cut waste and drew praise from environmentalists when it claimed annual carbon emissions would reduce by 2 million tons, critics say. Customers have been hit in the pocket by continued high prices since 2020. Apple has charged customers £19, this is a British site, for a new plug or earphones. Experts believe that Apple could be saving about £27 on each phone. A lot of that has to do with shipping, too. They're able to get the boxes shrunk down so much. The tech giant said the move announced 2 years ago was intended to cut waste and drew praise from environmentalists. It claimed it would reduce annual carbon emissions by 2 million tons, the equivalent of taking 500,000 cars off the road. Critics and customers have been hit in the pocket. I remember doing a story about Brazil was pissed off about it. There was some kind of I don't know if it was like a petition or...
Was it the charge brick?
Government investigation. Oh, there you go. Apple will be forced to sell iPhones with included power in Sao Paulo. One more down. Yeah, so there was a ruling there that said, no, Apple. Please do chargers in the box. Because what happens if everybody goes and buys an extra one? Well, I guess you have more money being spent, but then you've also got more waste because now that has to ship separately in a different box that you order from Amazon if you want to get the fast charging going. But this was all the way back in 2020. Goes to show you time flies. I've been doing this for a while now. Look, a lot of this has to do, also depends on your upgrade cycle. Are you one of these people that's upgrading your phone frequently? If that's the case, you definitely don't need the charge brick because you got a recent fast one, or you may even have a third-party one that you like more than any of the included ones. But if you're a person that only upgrades your phone every 4 or 5 years, then you pretty much, in my opinion, have to buy a new charge brick for your new iPhone because whatever you have lying around is going to be slow. And I don't know. I just feel like you're going to want to know that your phone has much better capabilities, even if it's only 20 watts. Even though, and then we have other manufacturers that have gone well beyond 20 watts. But even to get up to 20 watts because your phone can do it, you're going to want to know that. And so I would imagine if you were to walk into a physical Apple store, those employees at that Apple store would make you aware that you probably want a 20-watt adapter when you buy the phone.
Yeah, kind of like throw it in there.
And so, I mean, we could probably run some study, do some investigative report where we would go in and see if it was offered to us. But I bet you it's offered every time. Are you going to need a power brick with that? You're going to need a case? You're going to need some Apple Care? And then all of a sudden in that moment, you got the 20-watt in a separate packaging that had to ship halfway across the world. And I don't know what the consequence was for the environment in that circumstance. Anyways, here's the quote from Apple. At Apple, we are constantly innovating to conserve resources and protect the planet we all share. Already carbon neutral for our own operations. We've set an ambitious goal to become carbon neutral for our entire supply chain and product usage by 2030. Every Apple device will have a net zero carbon impact. One of the steps along our path is to reduce the materials used in products and packaging. Well, that's the biggest one. If they can figure out that the majority of people are not going to be using the included power brick, then they can make the justification and say the box is shrunk by a ton.
Sure.
The argument's always been very hard and weird for me, this idea that buying something new is the right thing for the environment instead of fixing or keeping the one you already have. But of course, that's if we're talking about the environment at all. And as these mega corporations get involved in the environment, they're all going to have different approaches. And it's certainly better for them to have some interest than none interest. If they were to say, screw the environment and not even consider it, well, I mean, that would be like whatever standards existed in 1922 or whatever.
Yeah.
It will get ugly pretty fast. So it's one of these gradient situations again, Will, where there needs to be some degree of consideration, but it also, there's a balancing act to it.